you wrote a book on culture, the case for culture. So now I gave a presentation on culture, and whenever you put something out there publicly about culture, you become the culture guy. So now everyone's got the lens on whatever it is that you do because you wrote the book on it. So since COVID hit, I know you guys went remote pretty quickly, but how is that, how has your experience been, especially in light of the fact that now everyone's looking at you as, okay, Eric, but you're the culture guy, so we got to make sure that,
well,
what do we do?
Well, look, I think, I watched Jessica's thing yesterday. You guys nail it. You guys get it. Culture is not about the fun. And I always say this, culture isn't about the fun. Culture is about how you get in sync together. And right now, our culture, one, it was set up. We were always a culture of being advanced, far more advanced than the workers' comp, the basic workers' comp firms. So we were home. We had made the decision 5 days before the Bay Area lockdown order, which was before everybody else in the country. But we essentially made that decision that we were going to get everybody safe. Because if one person went down within the office, everybody was quarantined, nobody could work. Mm-hmm. So we decided we're home. That was part, the whole thing about our culture is we don't have to look over everybody's shoulder all the time. And we're hiring great people who believe in our mission and believe in our values and believe in our standards and our principles. And so we don't have to oversee them, and they feel psychologically safe to raise their hand saying, I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. So we knew we could send them home and they were still going to do their job. The only thing is how are we going to have meetings? How are we going to continue to recognize them? How are we going to continue to play together? And so, we have check-ins, not check-ons. Yeah. Where we check in with people, we don't check on people. And one of the things that was really important to me was we immediately set up Zoom. We'd already had Zoom for trainings and things like that. And we've got a lot of these tech programs. I think you use Slack, we use Workplace, you use Bonusly, we use it as well. We use Microsoft Teams, and we really use Microsoft Teams as compared to Slack because we have that whole program. You guys are tech driven, so I'm sure you're more Macs than PCs.
Yeah.
So, but basically, we wanted to continue doing all of these things, and we were just going to use more technology. So that was it. And we had always been tech forward. We were paperless. Now we're becoming really paperless because workers' comp is very paper intensive. So this is actually allowing us to reach out to everybody that we work with on the outside and say, hey, can we be paperless in this case and going forward for here on more? And it's working, and we're reducing the workload for our scanning people because our mailroom manager is actually sick right now. He's at home. He actually has the virus. So we had to be nimble. Our culture has allowed us to do that. It's really allowed us to do that. And the stuff that you're putting out, Mike, it's gold. It's gold for guys like me because it reminds me to be calm, to realize that this is opportunity and not struggle. Because the first few days, boy, I thought it was 2008 again. Yeah. And so we are actually turning around. We're expanding. We've always wanted to open up in other markets. This actually is going to allow us to open up. I just heard yesterday that one of our main competitors is reducing size because they weren't able to go remote very well. And they micromanage their people in the office so much that they don't know how to act now. Yeah. One of our other competitors, main competitors, was kind of closer to retirement. Well, this is just pushing them into retirement. So this is our opportunity because marketing's inexpensive. We just bought billboards. I know you're not a fan of the billboard. I'm not necessarily a fan of the billboard.
I'm a fan of anything that gets the message out.
Exactly. So we basically reframed our message. Our tagline is the lawyers for injured workers. It's perfect with my story, using that I represented athletes and entertainers for 20 years. Now I represent firefighters, healthcare workers, frontline workers who are now the heroes of our community. We have be a hero is one of our tags here. That our team needs to be heroes with our clients go above and beyond, exceed expectations. Those are the only expectations that clients want. And so all of a sudden, what I've always said to my team when they ask me, why did I get out of representing athletes and entertainers? I say, our clients are more important. And I've been saying this for 5 years, and now they understand why. And so it actually really goes along with our story of the organic nature of our business. So we've changed our tagline, and it's on our new billboards that says, the Lawyers for Injured Workers. It's crossed out and it now says Heroes. And it's going to stay that way for a long time. We'll bring that through. But the point is television, people are sitting at home, and TV's cheap because the big advertisers, there's so many people who can't advertise right now. And pay-per-click has just dropped in half in our area for our keywords. So this is opportunity like we've never seen. I mean, I hate to say it in this way, but I'm okay with sitting at home for 3 months. Keep the lockdown going. You know, firms like mine, firms like the people that I see that, you know, that I know through the Crisp family, they're all very, we're not happy about what's going on in any way, but it allows us to refocus, and it's giving us a kick in the pants.
So let me ask you, for someone who's, you know, I know you mentioned a lot of the fact that your team and your culture allows you to have people that you really don't need to micromanage. Now, obviously firms across the nation, they've gone remote. They may not have had that set up in that way. They're struggling. They're trying to figure out, how do I hold these people accountable? How do I keep them engaged? How do I keep them motivated? You know, they're all distributed. Maybe this person is just goofing around at home. So outside of, you know, picking up and reading your book, The Case for Culture, which I think they should do anyway, and it's what, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, is it Audible yet?
Yeah, it's all over. And the Audible's coming out in about 3-4 weeks. And I'm going to thank Michael Mogill, actually. You know, he wrote the foreword on it. And so I have to thank you again, because it's quite nice, and it's an honor.
Well, and I will say, for people who haven't read the book, I mean, the Case for Culture, quite literally a book written by a firm owner who had his entire life transformed because of this realization. But for someone who's watching this right now, that's having, you know, let's say challenges with their team, and now they're working remote, like what advice do you have for them? Is there something that they can do today to help to move things in the right direction?
Well, messaging is big. Get yourself some technology that really analyze the technology for people to be able to work. There's no question about that. But get the technology to discuss things. Get on Zoom. Write your message down. Remind people of what that mission of the company is. If you don't have a mission stated, get it stated and get it out. And have those meetings, and have them every single day until you feel like people are starting to get the message. And be supportive. You know, in the first week of this, I called every single employee and texted every single employee for that week, and we have almost 50 people. Me personally, I texted them and said, we're going to make it through this, and we need you. Don't be scared, and my phone is open. Here's my cell phone number. If you never, it's on the phone sheet, but if you never had it before or you didn't realize it, I'm open 24/7. You text me. You need something for you or your family, call me. Mm-hmm. And I did that with the people that came latest to the table. So we had a lawyer who literally started the Monday before we went home, and I could see on the Zoom meetings she was terrified. She just she looked like she was like, I'm going to get a call any second to pack up and leave. And our unemployment rate in the Bay Area, because we locked down fast, skyrocketed. DAs, we heard DAs were laying people off. Everybody was laying people off, and lawyers included. So she was terrified because she was the last to come to the table. I personally called her and said, look, the day you come in the door is the day, there's no hierarchy here. And I want to make sure that you understand that I spent a year recruiting you into our firm. I'm not letting this turn you out. So you got to make sure they're appreciated. We got to continue to lead with gratitude. Those things that you instill in your firm, whether you've got them or not, start instilling them. But those things that you instill in your firm, keep doing them. Got a great idea from Jessica yesterday about the pizza party, the gratitude. That's a thank you to them. We're doing that next Wednesday. We have happy hours every Friday. None of those things have changed. In fact, we're doing more than we ever have before. Now is the time to kick it into high gear because, look, the way you lead now will be remembered forever. And so I'm meeting with my leaders more, and I'm letting them know that. And people are really, really stepping up at every single level in our company, from the mailroom up. They're stepping up. They're saying, how can I help more? I've got 15 minutes to spare today because we're sending out less mail. Can I help you guys in marketing? What can I do? Can I call? We support a church that feeds the homeless every week. We've been doing that for the last 4 years. You know, so the person who actually manages that relationship with the church has left. We've got people saying, how can we help? We've got challenges. We have a challenge. We work with the Best Buddies, which places intellectually developmentally disabled, and we have an employee from Best Buddies. I didn't even know until Friday that we were doing a Best Buddies challenge raising money. Our team right now has done this on their own, raising money for an organization that we work with. I mean, this stuff is it. Once you get this happening, it starts happening on its own.
Yeah, and it's like the power of momentum. So as we close this out, what's been the biggest lesson that you've learned, since this first began?
You've got to anticipate. You've got to look down the road and make those decisions. I love your stuff. Stop looking at the stock market. It'll come back. Stop looking at the virus spread. It is what it is. That us as leaders, even in these smaller companies, that we are here for a reason, and we have a real job to do. And it's cleared it up for me even more than ever. If you're nervous about jumping in and talking about your mission, if you're nervous about jumping in and talking about your values, you're nervous about setting standards and setting rules for the road, don't be. Now is your time to do it. This is when your team is absolutely looking to you and saying, what do we do?
Awesome, man. That's it's like the mic drop at the very end. I love it.